Good morning, everybody, and thank you for allowing me to talk to you today. For those who don't know me, my name is Paula Thompson. My business is called Stress Right, and basically I'm about helping people deal with their stress and anxiety. So I just want to start with something a little bit negative, but I just want to make you aware of how bad things are out in the stress world, if you like. And the statistic that I've started with here is currently 84 men take their lives every week. That is quite horrific. 75% of all suicides are men. And 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem in their lives. But when you come down to these sort of things, 1 in 6 people experience common mental health problems every week. And 1 in 5 have suicidal thoughts. And 1 in 14 self-harm. And 1 in 15 attempt suicide. Now, to me, those statistics are horrific, but they were pre-COVID. So can you imagine? I mean, I don't know if anybody heard it yesterday on the news about how all the medical staff are really struggling with their stress and anxiety, and we've got nurses and doctors really considering suicide. So the whole mental health piece is horrific right now. Right, so after making you feel quite depressed about all of those things, I want to talk about the different types of therapists. If you go on Google, there's 50 different types of therapy just in the Bournemouth and Poole area. And for those that know me well, they know that I like to have things plain and simple and straightforward. So I'm not going to be talking anything too technical here. But I just wondered if people knew what a therapist is or what a therapist does. The dictionary definition of a therapist, and I'll read this, a person skilled in a particular kind of therapy. Well, that can be anything, can't it? I had a look through for the members of TBN, and we've got 7 different types of therapists just on TBN. So when you are struggling with stress and anxiety, where do you go? Who do you go to? Where do you start? It's quite daunting, to say the least. If you were suffering with stress and anxiety, depression, you go to see a therapist. If you get it wrong, you might come out with trout lips. You know, you've gone to a beauty therapist and not somebody to help you with your stress and anxiety. So here is just a sample of the types of therapy that you can have. Stress, anxiety, depression. There are people that just specialize in those types of mental problems. Talking therapy. Anybody that knows me, that's, you know, my main area of help and support with my clients. CBT, which is very much what the NHS prefer. And the reason that they prefer CBT is the fact that it is quite measurable. It's quite structured. There's 6 sessions. You go through a process. And that works for a lot of people, but there's an awful lot of people that it doesn't work for. You have coaches. You have steps to well-being. Again, that's through the NHS. And currently, you have a 4 to 5 month wait to even get on the steps to well-being. You have psychologists, psychiatrists, counsellors. You can go down the spiritualist route. You've even got men in white coats coming and telling you what's going on with you. You've got hypnotherapy, and I know we have quite a few hypnotherapists on TBN. You have life coaches, NLP. I mean, we can go on and on and on with the amount of different types of therapists. So you can see that it is so important to make the right choice for you. Now, obviously, I'm going to be concentrating on the types of therapy for mental wellness. And I think, you know, it is so important, especially at these challenging times. I know from experience with the people that I'm seeing and the amount of phone calls that I'm getting, the amount of people that are really, really struggling at the moment with not coping with life in general, and certainly during this second lockdown. Whereas in the first lockdown, when I was speaking to people, they were dressed, they were ready for the call, they were chatty. Yes, okay, they were still struggling, but they were more engaged. This time now, so many people are coming on, well, I'm still in my pajamas, I hope you don't mind. I'm in my dressing gown, I couldn't be bothered to get dressed. And so now, because of the length of time that we've been going through all of this, so many more people are struggling. It is important that you find the right therapist. It is, you know, one size does not fit all. It is very individual. The one thing that I would say is that most therapists working in the mental health area are there to help you to change your mindset, because we can just have a small problem and that grows and grows and grows in our heads unless we deal with it. It becomes overwhelming. So why me? For me, it's very much about a connection. If you have a connection with your therapist, whatever that therapy is, you will come out and benefit from that. You know, just because you try one therapy and it doesn't work for you, don't give up. It could be the type of therapy doesn't work for you. It could be that you don't have a connection with that therapist. So keep going. You will find the right combination for you. Research it first, make sure you're going in the right direction for you individually, and then make sure you have that connection. The slide up there just gives a little bit about me, because I think if you can, as a therapist, if you can give a little bit about you, the other person has that connection. For me, I work with my clients at their own pace and their own personality. So I use a whole range of different techniques. And as you can see, a wealth of life experiences, and that's too long on here to even start to go into that. Corporate training, and then my stress management qualification. So I offer a whole range of support. Now, I'm conscious of the time. I was going to give you a little overview of one of my clients, but I'm noticing that I'm going to be running out of time, so I'm not going to do that. I want to keep on track for you, Lee, if I can. So fundamentally, just as an overview to say about this is, I deal with people who have got suicidal thoughts. The lady I was going to talk to you about has been self-harming since the age of 12. She's in her late 20s. We have now got her to a stage where she is not self-harming for 3 months. And it was her company that originally sent her to me to help her with her mental health, and now are very condescending with her in her workplace. So in this, these very difficult times, I want to offer all of TBN members 30 minutes of my time, obviously online at the moment, to help you deal with your stress and anxiety. And also this goes out to anybody that you know that is friends or family that are really struggling. Within 30 minutes, obviously we can only do so much, but even if I can give some help and advice, some techniques, something that is going to get you through, I'm more than happy to do that free of charge, obviously. Very briefly, the last technique I want to give everybody is what we call 4-square breathing. And breathing, as we know, is really important. But if we can concentrate and think about a picture frame, put a picture inside that picture frame that's going to make you feel calm, happy, and comforted in some way. And then breathe to the count of 4 as you go up one side, hold as you count to 4 across the top of the frame, breathe out when you count to the count of 4 down the other side, and then hold across the bottom for 4. And the count of 4 must be 1, 2, 3, 4. The slower you can do it, the calmer you will be. So that's me. Thank you very much. And I will stop sharing my screen.